The Weekend in Jacksonville is presented by Stonecore on Phillips Highway, your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and more. Stonecore, we do outdoors better.
What's going on, Jacksonville? It is your second favorite media mogul, Mia O'Brien, not only filling in for Dan Hicken on the drill, but also on the weekend that was and is still ahead here in Jacksonville. Let's begin with your hometown Big Cats. They are set to hit the practice field for the final 3 days of the offseason program this upcoming Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mandatory minicamp. Listen, let's push that to the side, though, because I think the bigger storyline, because we know they're just going to be in t-shirts and shorts and maybe helmets those 3 days, the bigger storyline in Jaguar land right now is, of course, with regards to the stadium renovations and or restoration. Our good friends over at Jaguars Today have done the heavy lifting for us. And so I do want to take a look one more time at the numbers for the options for your Jacksonville Jaguars if this is a 2-year renovation restoration versus a 4-year renovation where you could still play within TIAA Bank Field. The options right now, as they stand, if the team was to still play in the bank while construction is going on, an extra $190 million to taxpayers for that 4-year period, versus you would save money if you complete the construction in just 2 years' time. And then, this is where it gets interesting, if you were to play, dare I say, in Gainesville or Orlando, those two stadiums are NFL ready already. If you are insistent on playing within the confines of Duval County, now you're looking at an extra $125 million to add 20,000 seats to either the baseball grounds of Jacksonville or Hodges Stadium on the campus of UNF. Oh, well, you look at that. For what it's worth, despite wearing a North Florida jersey, I think it makes the most sense to go to Gainesville or Orlando. That pains me to say because for years now I have watched as the Orlando media have tried to piggyback onto us here in Jacksonville as well as in Tampa. I don't think there's any chance in heck that Orlando somehow convinces the Jaguars to move there in that 2-year period, especially when a shiny new stadium is being built up I-95 right here in Duval County. I just think, for all intents and purposes, because we know of the numbers and the dollars and cents that our taxpayers are going to have to pay, listen, I know it's going to stink. It's in the middle of Trevor's prime. Bite the bullet, bite your tongue. Don't have to pay that extra money because, quite frankly, UNF, if they're gifted this football stadium, what are they going to do with it? Well, you'd have to create a football team and put your athletic budget operating already behind a deficit, even further in deficit. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And so while I think it stinks that you would lose 2 years of those home games in Duval County, fiscally, I think in the long run, it would add up. The most important thing, though, is that this stadium deal does get done, that there are conversations between the city council, the NFL owners, Shad Khan, et cetera, and we get this deal done sooner rather than later. On to the college front, the Florida State softball team falls to Alabama. Well, not Alabama. Oklahoma, the Alabama football program of the college softball world. Oklahoma has now won 3 straight college softball national championships, 6 of the last 10. Florida State has played them closely in many of those college softball World Series championships. Unfortunately, they are swept in the championship round on Thursday night. And while it's a great season for Florida State, I can't help but just look at this and say we are seeing what we saw in college football from 2008 to 2018, where Alabama just absolutely dominated. We are seeing that in college softball right now. Shout out to Oklahoma, though. 53 straight wins, 61-1, a D1 all-time record. As for those Gators, Todd Golden, he does continue to pull them on in. I want to make sure I get these numbers right. Here we go. Todd Golden able to pull in Zion Pullen out of UC Riverside. What's interesting enough is the 4-star point guard, at least according to On3 in the transfer portal rankings, actually more of a facilitator, more of a guy who takes it to the hoop, and he also has a pretty high rating when it comes to the transfer portal, the 3rd highest of the 5 transfers that Todd Golden has hauled in this offseason. He shoots about 39% from 3, even though he doesn't take a ton of threes. I think it's another proven scorer to add to that Gators roster, which obviously struggled in the scoring department a season ago. Of course, we have to pay attention to our hometown minor league teams that will be in action this week, with the Shrimp home hosting the Nashville Sounds over the course of the weekend, and your Jacksonville Sharks looking for a fourth straight win. over Fayetteville as they host Fayetteville on Saturday, looking to keep that win streak going after a 2-game road swing. They are back home at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena on Saturday. Make sure you get on out, support the Sharks, the Shrimp, and oh so much more here in the beautiful River City.